Today we have juniors Rachelle Messuri and Carley Denis. After a 1-0 victory over Salem State University, a real nice non-conference victory for the Monks. Rachelle broke a scoreless deadlock with a 57th minute goal. Rachelle, let's kind of talk about that play.
I think there was a shot in, and then the goalie didn't really kick it out and was kind of holding it down, and then Carley was holding it against her stick, and then I think I was to her left, and she just kind of pushed it out wide, so it was a loose ball, and then I had it on my reverse and just flicked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right over the goalie.
Yeah.
Perfect placement.
And
it was from the angle we were sitting. It was hard to tell exactly what was happening because it was such a scrum in front of the net.
Yeah.
So it was a nice little backhand flick. Is that something that you guys kind of work on a little bit, or is that just natural instinct when you have it that way?
I don't know.
I think it was kind of lucky, to be honest, because one of our corners, I do a reverse. Well, lucky that it was me that was there, because we have a corner where I do a reverse. So I specifically practice a lot of the reverse, like flicks or passes or whatever. So it was kind of lucky that I was the one there, because I've been practicing having control over those and placement. I have to have good placement on corners for them to get it right to the girls. So
now Salem State isn't a team that you would call a rival, because you haven't played that. This is only the 4th time you've played Salem in the history of the program. The Monks are now 3-1 against Salem State, but lost last year by a 1-0 score. Obviously the same score as today with the other way. Kind of talk about what it was like going into today. I know it was a cold, breezy day, and was it easy to get motivated to play this team is what I'm getting at after last year.
Last year it was 0-0 most of the game. They scored in the last 30 seconds, so I think all of us who were returning were definitely pumped up to try and avenge that loss and just really come out strong. And I don't know, for me the warm-up was kind of fun and loose, and we warmed up. It was a good warm-up, and then we got right into it and we came out strong. I think we have an advantage playing on the grass too, just because it's so different from turf, and it's awesome to.
And even last year was frustrating. I think the same thing happened this game, where we dominated most of the game, and then that's what happened last year and that's why last year was so frustrating, is because they ended up scoring when we dominated the whole game. So this year, I believe we were the better team again today, but could actually get the win.
It's nice to actually show it on the scoreboard.
Now, obviously a lot of freshmen this year. As veterans, how do you kind of, you've played them last year, how do you pump up these newcomers to play in a game like today?
We just got to tell them what happened. A lot of the time we just be look, this is what happened, play for us, we want this more, and we're out here for you, and you guys need to be out here for us too, I think.
Yeah, we actually had to talk about that before the season started, having so many freshmen, because we obviously have a lot more rivals in the conference, and so we talked about how you guys are part of this now. You can see the pain or the frustration we've had with other teams, so fight for that, see that in us and gain that. And I think they do a great job with that. We're a very close team, so I think they see that and they fight.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of our freshmen, at least.
They definitely fight for us in return we fight for them.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's awesome.
They've stepped up really well.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Now you guys mentioned prior to the interview, it's kind of the same kind of question here, but you're outnumbered by the freshmen.
Yeah.
The upperclassmen are outnumbered by the freshmen, kind of a rarity.
Yeah.
What is that like for you guys? I mean, you coming. It's really interesting that we have you two here today, 2 juniors who have been asked to step up after losing some key players last year and the last couple of years. You guys have both answered the call. Kind of got a lot of things going on when you're looking to fill those gaps, and then also at the same time, you have to be leaders for these underclassmen. What is that like for you guys?
It was really weird coming in and trying to just show everyone the ropes and getting used to everything, but like Rachelle said, they stepped up big time. I was a little nervous in the beginning because I didn't really know what to expect, but
they really do. They are so open, and even because sometimes if we're yelling on the field to them, I always say, am I offending you? Are you okay? And they're
no.
They're so open to it. They're no, yell at me, I want to get better. Tell me where to go.
Yeah.
They really,
awesome.
they want to learn. They like when we, it almost is good, because we benefit from, we have to communicate. Every team always talks about communication and how that's important, and this is forcing us to, so, and they listen.
Yeah,
so it's good.
I think it'd be really different if we didn't get the girls that we did, but we got really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good class of newcomers. And included in that group, not necessarily a newcomer, but she's been away from field hockey for a while, Taylor Allison, your goalkeeper, who today with the shutout, only one save as the defense played very well in front of her. That's her 6th shutout of the year, and that ties a single season record here with Megan Johnson, who did it, I think, 3 or 4 times. Talk about Taylor's efforts coming in.
Taylor stepped up big time, even like just with one save, like that could be one goal, and she keeps us in games. I think we were looking at the pamphlet this morning in the CAF, and we've outscored our opponents like 19-8, and that's huge. That's her part. That's all of her doing, and coming in from being off of field hockey is a hard thing to do, let alone step up like she has been.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She's just stepped up big time. Like after every single game, I was like, "You're my girl." Like so proud of her. She like just does
She's
so.
awesome.
Every time I get more and more impressed with her, because even you look at it's one save, but we've had games where there's like a offender standing on her and she doesn't put up with anything. She's like she's so smart as a keeper too, but like you said too, the defense did a good job with keeping it to one shot. Defense has stepped up a ton.
Huge. They're
a
awesome.
ton. We have obviously like a great freshman defender in now, right. And I think it's just like a team effort with everybody really coming together to
Right, they seldom even got into the scoring circle. They weren't even, I mean, it just didn't
yeah.
They're really good.
Now, what was that timeout about? What did you guys talk about? You seemed to come out a little bit rejuvenated after the timeout was called and the team meeting.
I think it was just like a little kick in the butt, like we need a goal, we need to show them we're dominating, we need to get it done.
Yeah,
And
I think some teams call timeouts just to stop the motivation on the other team, because we started going off, and I think it just didn't work at all, because we talked about more strategic things, like what we were going to do for the next corners and what exactly we were going to play, like who's going to be first defenders, and we just talked about game talk, so we kept the motivation and then just was more strategic about it. So
definitely in-man helped us, but probably not what they're planning on doing.
Yeah. Plus a little breather there.
Oh yeah,
Could always use winter.
Talk about corners a little bit. Today, Coach Lewis was in the office talking about corners, and we looked on the NCAA website, and you guys are ranked 2nd in the country in corners per game. And I know it's kind of been a little bit of a thorn in the team's side because the goals haven't necessarily been coming on corners, but we've had a lot of close calls. What do you think to find out that you guys are ranked 2nd in the country in that category?
that's sweet.
Pretty cool.
I didn't know that, but at the same time, it's like not sweet.
It doesn't
that
even matter because
we're
we're
not
not
scoring as much.
But like Rachelle said, they'll come. She's told me 100 times, like when I'm frustrated if I'm not getting the shot off or I'm not getting the goal, she's like, they'll come.
Yeah.
Like eventually, they'll come. And Britt's got 2 called back on her on corners, so I mean that would be 3.
I think when we started off the season, we had different plays and we've changed them, and now I think they will start coming together more and more. We just have to keep. We actually have like 2 new ones that we did today.
Is that like the high lofting one?
That was a new one. That was pretty
Now
cool.
that's an interesting one.
The theory is to get it high enough above the goalie. Oh, okay.
But but
It's just
You just gained major brownie points from your coach, but right there.
it's just it's a new play, and we just kind of started doing it. So I'm hoping, like I took it today. I'm hoping, like personally, I'll get. Even though the first one that's the best one I've had since I've started practicing them. So that was kind of ironic that it was the first one we did in the game. But
what is the fear for those of us that don't know field hockey obviously as well as you do? On a ball that's high like that, we see a lot of whistles. What is the concern there with that play?
The idea of it is because, so on corners, when it goes to that side and everybody comes over, you lift the ball over every single person there, and then it drops. And you have to, when it's high enough like that, when it comes down, it's not really dangerous, because if someone chooses to stand under the ball, then it's like,
it's their fault.
you're an idiot.
And it's not like a fast-driven ball. Yeah.
Right. So it's good to let it really, those will rarely be called dangerous unless you lift it up. Like how we would defend those is just run up to run, like pretty much trying to like hit yourself with the ball.
Yeah, because the closer you are, like the more dangerous they consider it.
But if you get it off before someone is that close, it really is pretty much a
and like height is everything.
Well, yeah.
Interesting. I think we all learned a little about field hockey strategy today. Thank you for that. Well, guys, congratulations on the big non-conference victory. That makes it 2 shutout wins in a row. You guys have been playing really well lately, and hopefully you'll keep it going at Farmington on Thursday and Castleton next Saturday, Colby Sawyer the following Sunday. So 3 really, really big conference games coming up, and home field advantage, at least in the first round, is the goal. So you guys, again, congrats. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.